channel. Just a little video of a bit of an update on my last video about the Caravan scam that was going on that I've stumbled upon. I'm pleased to inform that eBay did promise when I spoke to them to investigate, and within 72 hours, if there was a problem with that listing, they'd take it down. And lo and behold, that eBay listing has gone. So that's good news. Whether they'll start up with another one, I don't know. But I'm going to continue to keep doing little searches every now and again, because if I stumble upon any more, I'm going to do exactly the same again and try and get them taken down. So that's the first part of this video. A little bit of an update on that, which is good news. Second part is I'd just like to go over a few things about protecting yourself when you're buying a caravan. This is just something that I would do, so obviously I don't want to be held responsible if you blame me for future purchases that go wrong. This is just a few tips and things that I've found out for myself doing a bit of research online. So this is just a guide. This is just tips that I would do myself if I was purchasing a caravan. Obviously the old saying goes is when buying a caravan is buyer beware. I think that's the consensus of everybody. Everybody said the same thing. It's always buyer beware. I think I'd always consider a dealer before buying private. I know you save a bit of money buying privately, but really there's less risk buying from a dealer. Obviously there's a place to take your caravan back to if there's ever a problem, especially if they're an established dealer that you know have been there for quite some time. You've always got somewhere to go back to if there's a problem. Another thing I would always advise you to do is do your research. Research that particular seller, that dealer. I'd always research the caravan that you want to buy. I'd definitely 100% do a Chris check. In my opinion, it is an essential thing to do. Some of you may not know about what a Chris check is. I'll put a link in the description of where you can have a check on a particular caravan. Say you're interested in a caravan, it will come with an identification sticker on the side. That's the vehicle, the caravan's VIN number. It's usually stamped on the A-frame, or it'll be stamped along the side. On my particular van, it's on the offside, on the chassis itself. It's stamped in, and that'll be the same number that's etched on your windows. I'll put up a little sticker here, a little picture here of what these stickers look like. I think they were introduced in 1992. So pre-1992 you won't be able to get a Chris check done, unfortunately, but after a manufacturing year of 1992 it'll come with a little sticker if it's been registered, and it'll be etched in on the windows like this sticker here. Now in 2016 the stickers changed to these black ones, and it also came with a chip, and that's usually in the front locker. If your caravan hasn't got a locker, then it'll be somewhere inside the van. But caravans with lockers, they usually stick the sticker inside the front locker, and it comes with like a chip. And as you noticed on these black ones, you can actually use a mobile phone to scan the QR code, and it'll tell you all the information about that particular caravan. So then all the details of that particular van will be on your phone then, and you can check them for yourself against the documentation that you're being presented with. What does a Chris check do? Well, a Chris check will tell you if it's 1, stolen, which is obviously important; 2, if there's any outstanding HP finance, which is a good thing to know; who the legitimate owner is, so you can ask the person who's selling it to you for some identification, and then that'll correspond with the person that you're dealing with. Apparently you should be suspicious of a caravan after 1992 that isn't Chris registered. You should be wary of it. That's a little bit of something I found out with a bit of research online. Anything that's not been Chris ID'd after 1992, be suspicious of. when you're buying a caravan, some important things you should look out for is look at the hitch and see if there's any burn marks or damage around the hitch where the hitch lock would have been. It's a telltale sign that obviously it's had a hitch lock on that's been broken off or been ground off with a grinder. If there's any scorch marks, any melted plastic, a telltale giveaway. Same with your wheels and around your wheels and around the wheel arch. If there's any burn marks or any damage around the wheel arch or any damage to the wheels or any damage around that area, always ask questions, be suspicious. Another useful tip as well, make a checklist before you go of all the things that you want to check with a caravan before you go and view, like checking for damp, checking for damage around the things that I've just mentioned. Remember, make a list of questions that you want to ask, and if it's a genuine sale, the owner is going to tell you. He's going to tell you without hesitation. Like when I asked the seller of this scam, I asked him what the CRIS number was. Can I have the CRIS registration? And he refused to give me it under to protect his privacy and protect his security. And I'm thinking, well, how am I able to do a CRIS check on that caravan if he won't give me the CRIS number? It's not as if they're hidden, because they're on the side of your van. Your chassis number's on the side of your van and etched in the side, so anybody can get these things when you're on site. If you go out for the day, anybody can come up and take a picture of your number on the side of your van. It isn't a problem letting somebody have it, because without that number they can't do the checks. So if you want to make a sale and want to portray that, want to show this person that you're a genuine seller, you're going to let him do the security checks, aren't you? So that was one of the alarm bells that went off. Obviously you should ask the owner for all the manuals that came with the caravan. If there's no manuals, then I'd be a little bit concerned as well, because mine's a 2004 van. I'm the third owner and I've got all the documentation. It came with the van. Everything came with the van, all its service history, ownership, CRIS checks, everything, even service history came. Everything was there in a nice little folder. So then you can use all that documentation to see if it corresponds with the caravan that you've actually gone to view. The CRIS check, it's $14.95. Like I say, I'll put a link in the description. Although it's $14.95, I think it's well worth doing, because it's like I forget what they call it to do your car. Is it a HPI check? Something like that. You can do the same with your car, and it's just reassuring. If you're going to hand over large sums of money, it's reassuring to know that you get the CRIS report back and everything's a-okay. It's really reassuring. Another rule of thumb as well, choose with your head and go with your head rather than your heart. Another thing to be wary of as well, apparently twin axle caravans are scammers' favourites. The statistics show that more twin axle caravans are used in scams than singles, so that's another thing to keep in mind. Never ever go through a third party, because usually that's part of the scam. I wouldn't go through a third party. I either deal with the person who owns the caravan or I'm not buying. It's as simple as that, because from what I'm finding online now, that's how they use it. They use a third party and they persuade you to hand over your hard-earned money to a third party. That ain't happening. I ain't handing over any money until I've got the keys in my hand. I'm with the caravan. I've checked all the documentation, the CRIS check has been done, and I'm at the sell. There's another point as well, which might be a useful and a good idea, is always demand to do the final sale at a seller's workplace or their home address, preferably their home address, because then if you see them coming and going from this house, you've got another reference point that you can actually go back to and start from if there's a problem. But never ever, please don't ever hand over money without actually seeing the caravan first, because that's what these scammers seem to be doing. From like I say, it's kind of gripped me over the last few days. I've been online quite a bit doing a bit of research on this, and that seems to be how they do it. They seem to lure you into handing over your money with the pretense that they're gonna have the caravan delivered to you to have over 5 days. Every scam that I've come across so far and read about use this tactic of getting you to hand over money. Sometimes they go for small amounts because you're less suspicious. Oh, leave a £500 deposit, send it to this bank account, and you can have a look at the van. Don't hand over any money unless you've seen that van and you've seen this seller and its home address, etc. Don't hand over any money. I suppose the saying goes, and oh, this is another thing. If a caravan, like I got sucked in initially on that Swift Conqueror, the price lured me in and I got all excited. But then when I sat back and I thought, hang on a minute, why is that caravan so cheap? See how easy it is and I've always thought that I wasn't able to be sucked in like that, but I was suckered in for a short time until I sat back, took a deep breath and went, why is that caravan so cheap? And that's when I started digging and delving a bit further, and then it just dawned on me, this ain't right, this sale ain't right. So obviously I carried on just to see where it would lead so I could share it with you guys. Right, like the last video, I hope you found something useful out of it. I'd be interested to hear your comments. If I've missed anything out, any other advice that you may want to give other people, please put it in the comments. Let's all help each other out. So if you found this video useful, please consider hitting like, share and subscribe. It really helped me out and I really very much appreciate it. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ra.